So there are more than 150 accessibility features built into the iPad. By the end of this training, you'll be familiarized with the iPad accessibility features, many of them hopefully, and also to hopefully be able to discern who would benefit from which accessibility features. I have a short video. All right.
People think that having a disability is a barrier. But that's not the way I see it. You can catch up with friends.
Ready?
You can capture a moment with your family.
One face, small face, focus lock.
And you can start the day bright and early. You can take a trip to somewhere new.
3 miles to the summit.
You can concentrate on every word of a story.
A bird began to sing. Jack opened his eyes.
You can take the long way home. Or edit a film like this one. When technology is designed for everyone, it lets anyone do what they love, including me.
Okay. So first I want to talk about vision accessibility features. So the vision accessibility features include audio descriptions. So you can watch movies with detailed audio descriptions of every scene on your iPad. Movies with audio descriptions are displayed with the AD icon in the iTunes Store. There's dark mode. Dark mode transforms every element on your screen with a new dark color scheme. Light text against dark backdrops in Mail, Safari Reader, Calendar, and it makes everything easier to read in low light conditions. There's dictation. Dictation lets you talk where you would type. Tap the microphone button on the keyboard, say what you want to write, and your iPad converts the words and numbers and characters into text. Display accommodations. You can invert colors, reduce white point, enable grayscale, or choose from a range of color filters to support different forms of color blindness or other vision challenges. Font adjustments. When you activate larger dynamic type, the text inside a wide range of apps, including calendar, contacts, mail, settings, and even some of the third-party apps, it's converted to a larger, easier to read size. And then magnifier, it works like a digital magnifying glass. It uses the camera on your iPad to increase the size of anything you pointed at, so you can see the details more clearly. Siri is a virtual assistant that uses voice queries to answer questions, make recommendations, and perform actions. Siri adapts to a user's individual language usage, searches, and preference. There's speak screen. So if you have a hard time reading the text on your iPad, you use the speak screen to read your email, web pages, books, or anything else. There's Voiceover. I'm going to go over that here in a second. And Zoom. So Zoom is it's a magnifier. So it's like the magnifier tool, but it's a built-in screen magnifier that works wherever you are on your iPad, and it works with all Apple App Store applications. So the first one of those applications, I'm just going to highlight for each type of accessibility feature. I'm gonna highlight one or two, and this just because there are so many to go into. I'm just hoping that it's going to give you an idea of what you can just look more into if you think that, hey, this is something I definitely want to share with consumers. So the first one I want to talk about for vision is Siri. And so it's a virtual assistant. It listens to requests and performs actions accordingly. Siri understands context, and the more you use it and make corrections when you're misinterpreted, the better it gets at understanding what you mean. Another really cool feature is Voiceover. So Voiceover is a gesture-based screen reader that lets you use an iPad even if you can't see the screen. With Voiceover enabled, you triple click on the home button to access it wherever you are on the iPad. You hear a description of everything happening on your screen, from battery level to who's calling you to which app your finger is on. You can also adjust the speaking rate and the pitch to suit your needs. When you touch the screen or drag your finger over it, Voiceover speaks the name of the item with your fingers on, including icons and text. To interact with the item, such as a button or a link, or to navigate to another item, use Voiceover gestures. When you go to a new screen, Voiceover plays a sound, then selects and speaks the name of the first item on the screen, typically in the top left corner. Voiceover tells you when to display changes to landscape or portrait orientation, when the screen becomes dimmed or locked, and what's active on your lock screen when you turn on the iPad. So I had a little Voiceover practice activity, and one of the cool little features on the iPad is that they actually set up a Voiceover practice pad, because that way you don't mistakenly change some of the settings or on your iPad as you're trying to figure out how to use the gestures. So in order to practice the settings, the gestures, you go to settings and tap accessibility, tap Voiceover, toggle Voiceover to on, and then tap Voiceover practice. So let's go in there and try that out. All right, so settings, tap on accessibility, Voiceover, and I'm going to toggle Voiceover at the top there to on. And all of a sudden, so that all of a sudden it started talking to me, and the Voiceover practice button kind of popped up there. So you're going to press that. Oh, so I hit it once to activate it, and I'm going to double tap it to select it. Okay. So once you're in here, you want to practice by, if you tap with one finger one time. Okay, so that's if I tap one with one finger, it kind of tells me what this screen's for. Now I'm going to tap with two fingers one time. See, now if I wasn't very precise, and so I think my middle finger hit before my index finger. Let me try that again. Now I'm going to use three fingers and tap one time. Now I'm going to swipe left. And I'm going to one finger swipe right. Now I'll try up. And now down. Now, this would take a lot of practice, but now if I'm going to double tap with one finger and two fingers and three fingers, and I believe even four fingers, it's going to give me different actions. So here's a double tap with two fingers. Now I want to learn what magic tap means, but until then, so here's a three finger double tap. and 4-finger double tap. Ah. And then a 1-finger double tap, which is why that's what we had to press to get into this, this setting. And then if I even, and there's even gestures with swiping with more than 1 finger. So I swipe left with 2 fingers. No, see, with 3 fingers. And this is just kind of cool to play around with and just figure out
Hey,
all
Scott.
the gestures. Yes.
Scott, it's Sarah. I just wanted to let you know, just in case you're not aware. So you're sharing your screen, but we're unable to hear voiceover with what you're doing because
Wow.
it's
Okay.
meant to be private. And all of a sudden I realized, I was like, wait a minute, does he think that it's, yeah.
I did think that was talking out loud. Okay, so
No, so like I'm able to use Zoom right now with voiceover on, and you guys don't hear my voiceover at all.
okay.
So, and that, yeah, because it's built in to be that way to, you know, have privacy. So you would have to have another device to be able to show what it's doing.
Okay. So if you don't know Sarah, she's my sister. You know, we have the same last name, same first initial. No, just kidding. But she knows infinitely more about this feature, obviously, than I do. But so I showed you how to get into the application. It is super fun to play with and just kind of figure out how all the gestures work with your iPad. And it's a way you can go and practice all those without messing anything up. All right, so I'm gonna double tap on done because that's how I'm gonna, I think I tap on it once to select it and then double tap to press the button.
Actually,
Okay.
you can just, yeah, double tap the button. Everything's a double tap.
So I'm gonna double tap voiceover off the toggle button. Nope.
Triple tap your home. Real fast.
Okay. Select it by one time, double tap, turn it off. That's so funny. It wasn't so much of an adventure when I was trying it for the first time. Okay. Okay. So with that option as well, it's supported by a whole list of languages, and I won't go through it, but there is a long list of languages supported by. When I send this PowerPoint out, you'll see it there listed there. But it's a really, really cool feature. So I want to talk a little bit about, go back to my PowerPoint. Hearing accessibility features. So hearing accessibility features include closed caption, FaceTime, iMessage, live listen, mono audio, and also type to Siri. So with closed captions, you can watch movies, TV shows, and podcasts with closed captions. FaceTime, and I will say that FaceTime is going to be available, I believe, not until someone logs into their iPad. So right now it's not enabled, but it would be eventually for on a long-term loan for a consumer. So FaceTime is a high-quality video and fast frame rate video call feature that's ideal for people to communicate using sign language. FaceTime comes equipped on Mac, iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. So there's a lot of, many people have access to this feature who have Apple products. iMessage, which is also, I believe, not active until you are signed into a Apple account. That lets you start a conversation without needing to say a word or hear a word, send unlimited messages to anyone on iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, Apple Watch, or Mac. Live Listen, it's made to work with hearing aids that are made specifically for iPhones and iPads, also sound processors and AirPods. Live Listen can help tune out the noise and hear more of what matters in odd places. Mono audio, when you're listening using headphones, you may miss some of the audio if you're hard of hearing or deaf in one ear, because stereo recordings usually have a distinct left and right channel audio tracks. Your iPad can help by playing both audio channels in both ears and let you adjust the balance for a greater volume in either ear. And then also, lastly, is Type to Siri. You can set Siri to Type to Siri mode if you prefer to communicate through typing. So, really quick on the Live Listen feature. So, it's only one I'm talking about, which would require an additional piece of equipment. So, if you actually had hearing aids that paired to your iPad or iDevice, you go into the hearing devices settings, and you pair your device right there. Like you see in the picture here, it shows Lisa's hearing aids, and it shows a battery on both of them, and she's able to adjust the hearing aid volume for the right and left sides. And then however she wants to have those settings set up. So Live Listen, it turns your iPad into a remote or microphone that sends sounds to made for iPhone, iPad hearing aids. And so what you essentially do is, when you're using these made for the iPad or iPhone hearing aids, you put it in Live Listen mode. You set your iPad down and point the speaker at whoever's speaking, and it helps isolate them from all the other loud sounds going on. So Type to Siri. Obviously, Siri is one of the most integrated accessibility features, or just features in general in the iPad. So the Type to Siri function is designed for those who are unable or have difficulty speaking. When enabled, the iPad home button activates Siri and brings up the button to type a command to Siri. Typed Siri commands work just like spoken ones. So you can, Siri will respond to questions like, what's the weather? Or where's the nearest Dutch Brothers? And also ones like open, go talk now. So to enable Type to Siri, you tap settings, tap accessibility, scroll down by sliding your finger up on the screen and tap on Siri, and then toggle Type to Siri on or off. So I will show you that really quick here. So in settings, I'm actually already in accessibility, and then I'm gonna scroll down. Here you have Siri. Press on that, and then you can see Type to Siri as toggle that to on. And now when I push on my home button, it's going to activate it and ask me what I want. What's the command? I type in the command at that point. All right.
Wait, Scott.
Go for it.
Can you demo that right now?
Sure. Okay. And so sorry, Siri, and I'm gonna Siri's on. Okay. So I tap. Okay. So let me. Oh, sorry. Press and hold on the home button. Okay. So I press and hold on it, pops up like that. And then so I'm going to say open Kotak now. And that's like. let's see. Can really go for, I don't drink a lot of coffee, but I love Dutch Brothers. Let's see.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah.
Hi, quick question. I don't have that option to have Siri to type to Siri. Is that I'm on the iPad 7th generation?
Okay, and so am I. So when you go to accessibility and you type on Siri at the bottom under general, so you press on Siri there, and you're not seeing at the top.
Well, I'm not seeing your screen now, but you said go
sorry.
to general and then it's okay. Go to accessibility.
Yes, so accessibility.
Mm-hmm.
And then
under general, yeah, I just have guided access and accessibility shortcut.
Okay, so
I don't have it either.
I don't have it either.
Okay, so when I was going through this yesterday, I realized that Siri was not enabled. So I had them go and enable it, and it put it on my device. My device, but it doesn't. It's not just enabled on my device. It should be enabled on all of them. But it may be they have to connect to Wi-Fi long enough to update and put it on there. So it should be appearing on there. I'm sorry, I was hoping it would have come over the same time for everyone, but it just took probably like a half hour, I think, once she told me that she had switched that feature on to appear on my iPad. But if for some reason it's not appearing on there, just let us know, and then we'll like on Monday, if it's still not there, let us know, and we'll try to troubleshoot it, see what's going on.
Hey Scott, this is Carl. So I was just looking over accessibility, and what I found was that under the options page under accessibility, there was another button for series and search, and I don't know if it was there before the push or not, but that's what I show. So there is a separate button for series. You can listen to it, press home. Is that the same one, or is that
no? That's gonna be a different one. So right above that word, if you click on accessibility right above that, then you scroll down, and then there's hopefully the Siri option under general. Now, can I ask, is there anyone that has Siri there?
I don't see it.
Okay.
Scott, it's Sarah again. So these iPads, whoever, when they were being set up, they didn't have Siri enabled on them. So I think you have to do it like from the start, not in accessibility, but way back more in the first page of settings, I believe.
Let's see.
I'll be honest, I haven't done it yet because I was like, oh shoot.
Well, I never set this up. Everything is set up based on what our mobile device manager system says to set it up. So she just said she just went and turned that feature on, and then all of a sudden it popped up on my iPad. But
hey, Scott, this is Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize. I'm using the same iPad as everybody else with the same settings. And when you're using a management system like we are, sometimes it takes a little bit of time for the preferences to change. But when I go into settings and I go underneath the general tab, there's a Siri and search. And if I click on that, I have the option to turn on enable Siri and also press home for Siri as well. So I can do both of those. And if you don't have those options, you may need to turn off your iPad and then just restart it. And then that should hopefully fix the problem.
Okay.
So I've tried using my voice on this iPad before, and even now, and no matter what I do, whether I turn on Siri and then I have it listen for Hey Siri. I don't know if it's the management system that's preventing it, but it won't. This iPad will not hear my voice, no matter if I scream into it or what have you.
Okay. Well,
listening for me, but it can't hear me. Like
okay.
the microphone, like as if the microphone is inactivated. Nice English. Inactive.
Not active. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll talk with Kendall. She's the one that's in charge of our mobile device manager system, and see if, because I don't think she could just change it on mine. I thought that was not an option. So I'll see if we can figure out why it might not be on, and then hopefully maybe it starts appearing over the weekend. I'm not sure. But yeah, but I haven't turned mine off. Actually, I've had it on pretty much this whole time. So I don't know. So if it's not there on Monday, we'll figure it out. But yeah, that's definitely one we want activated on these, because there's so much you can do with Siri for accessibility stuff, and it really helps with just to make your iPad just more usable. Okay, so on to the mobility accessibility features. So those features include Assistive Touch. Assistive Touch lets you adapt the multi-touch screen to your physical needs. So if you need to change an iPad gesture, such as pinch, you could make them, hey, Kevin, could you mute? You can make them accessible with just tap of a finger. And dictation, which we talked about already in the vision features.
I don't think I'm supposed to have the screen up. I'm not seeing anything except for meeting topic, host.
Let's see here.
You didn't share your screen.
Oh, somehow it got taken away from me, I guess. Oh, yeah, sorry. Apparently, so because I'm in the office, I had to go to a quiet room because I have to talk directly and out loud. And I think the bandwidth in here isn't great. So it just said it stopped recording on me, or stopped sharing due to an unexpected error. So it says, yeah, not the best. So I think it's trying to reconnect me now. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so the Assistive Touch, it lets you adapt the multi-touch screen to your physical needs. So if you need to change an iPad gesture, such as a pinch, you can make them accessible with just a tap of a finger. Dictation, which we talked about in the vision accessibility features. Motor control assistance, so you could turn off the gestures function to deactivate the taps and swipes that would normally cause an action to be performed to benefit those whose fine motor skills do not allow for precise gesture movements. To turn the gestures off, tap settings, tap the home screen and dock, multitasking, toggle gestures to off. Let's see. And then I'm going to demonstrate that here in a second. Let's try that out. So settings, and then home screen and dock. So that's be a few buttons under general, and then you tap multitasking, and then there's where you have the toggle button to turn gestures off. Platform switching. Platform switching allows you to use a single device to operate any other devices you have synced with your iCloud account. Predictive text adjusts results based on who you're talking to and what you said before. And switch control. Switch control allows you to navigate sequentially through on-screen items and perform specific actions using a variety of Bluetooth-enabled switch hardware. Touch accommodations. With touch accommodations, you can adjust how the screen responds to your touch, control how long you touch it before it's recognized, and whether repeat touches are ignored. And then voice control, which lets you fully control your iPad using only your voice. So I want to highlight Assistive Touch. So to turn Assistive Touch on, you're going to tap Settings, tap Accessibility, tap Touch, tap Assistive Touch, and then toggle Assistive Touch to on. And I'll demonstrate that here in a moment. So Assistive Touch, it helps you use your iPad if you have difficulty touching the screen or pressing the buttons. You can use Assistive Touch, excuse me, without any accessory to perform actions or gestures that are difficult for you. You can also use a compatible adaptive accessory like a joystick together with Assistive Touch to control the iPad. So with this feature, you could do the following actions using just like a tap. You can open the Assistive Touch menu, go to your home screen. You can make one tap via double tap. You could perform multi-finger gestures, perform scroll gestures, summon Siri, access the control center, adjust the volume on the iPad. You could shake the iPad, which there's different shake features. You could take a screenshot. You could use Apple Pay. You can make this do speak screen. You can adjust the dwell settings, control analytics, and restart the iPad. So let me show you, let's demonstrate turning that on.
While you're getting that set up, I want to make a plug for this one. This one is so awesome. I've helped a couple of people who don't have disabilities set this up on their phones, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, when I was researching, it was probably one of the two most talked about iPad accessibility features. This one in VoiceOver, I think it was what people kind of universally say that these are just super, super helpful features. Okay, so we went into settings again and accessibility. And then you're gonna, under physical mode, you're gonna tap where it says touch. And then you're gonna, it says Assistive Touch off right now. You're gonna tap that little bar and bring to that menu. Then you're gonna toggle Assistive Touch to on. So, and then I don't know, like I could show you how to turn the feature on. I could tell you what it does, but beyond that, I can't really demo it for you. Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty amazing, and you heard it from Joe. It's a super, super helpful feature.
Let me make one more quick comment on it. It will float on your screen. This is available for Android phones also. It can float on your screen. You can reduce the transparency so the dot will sit there. You can move it to wherever corner of the screen you choose. You can set the opacity to have it be as low as 10%, although that's a little bit tough to see, or as brightly as I think 100%. And then you can have it set up to be a single touch activation. So you just touch it once and it will take a screenshot, or touch it once and it will do whatever you set it up to do, among other things.
Yeah, that sounds great. So if you have any questions, email Joe. No, actually, so if you have questions, here's a link to Apple's website, and you can go there, and there's a lot of videos and instruction documents and kind of walking you through all the different accessibility features. So that's actually all I had for this. There's so much content there that there are literally classes dedicated to this, and we encourage you, if you want to, go ahead and take the class. Take that. That would be something that would be great. I mean, I'm sure it'd be super helpful for you to be able to demonstrate these items, these features as well. But that's all I had for this. Does anyone have any questions on this? Or I plan on sending this out so you have this available too.